All right, that's a bit better. So, welcome back to another Fishy Plant Man production. Um, you might notice the curtains in the back there waving around. We might get a little bit of wind coming through. I didn't shut the window behind them, but I don't like the way the light comes in and everything with it opens. So the window is open, but the curtain is closed for all the sense that makes. Anyway, I thought I would do an update on the so-called higher tech tank. And that's because I've done a couple of things. The most minor is there was a black intake sponge for like an intake filter from Aquarium Co-op probably. Because as far as I know, he's the only one that's got, a hole in the middle but not all the way through. As far as I know, he's the only one that makes those intake sponges. And I got one with the low-tech planted tank, and its box of whatever the pet store said they needed probably before they gave up. Hopefully they didn't completely give up on the hobby, but they gave up on that tank because it's behind me now. So that's how I got that. Got a little tiny filter that, probably came from Aquarium Co-op too, but who knows? It may have come from anywhere. And a bunch of other stuff. The box was full of things I don't use and a couple of things I've been meaning to get and hadn't yet. There's a CO2 bell. Now that's not CO2, but as far as I can tell, that's a CO2 bell on the end of it. An itty bitty one. I put it there, to make it look complete rather than just the hose going down into the tank. I think I might be getting some passive diffusion by doing it, maybe. Maybe I'm creating a little bit more CO2 in the tank with the bell. I don't know. I might be upping it a little bit. I'm sure the disturbance at the surface is doing something for that. But anyway, I took out the sponge. Like I say, probably came from Aquarium Co-op. And the other thing I did was I placed an order. Now, in order to get free shipping from Modern Aquarium, you need to spend $50. Not that hard, but when you buy a bunch of cheap plants, it's not exactly easy. So I ended up with 5 new plants with some airline tubing, CO2 diffusers, and a check valve. Because I had like 8 things on the order. The check valve kind of helped get the order up a little bit. Okay, I'll say one of the plants. The plant that put me up and over, because I got a lot of modern light plants, that's kind of the gauge I had to decide the plants I wanted, was their light requirement. Because you look at the plant, you say, okay, that's a nice plant, I want that plant. You can click on it, and amongst other things, it will tell you, hey, yeah, amongst other things. Maybe I should go back and read those other things. I've got until the plants get here, so I'm not worried. But amongst other things, it gives you a light level. Moderate. And I believe one is moderate to high. And the one, because I'm kind of seeing what the light can do, although not at full power. It's kind of weird. But I did get a high light plant, at least according to the website, and that is Scarlet Temple. So, if I can keep that alive, I'll probably be happy with this light, because it just said highlight. Well, for the Fluval 3.0, highlight is probably maxed out, at least on, some of the settings. But we'll see. I think those two, what used to be pink plants that have kind of dialed back to brown, I think they're still happy. They might still be melting back, but I think they might still be happy. Those, I think, are moderate. So is what I did, because everybody's at least moderate in the order. There's a floater that, might be able to take low light, but so is what I did is I kicked this up, got it out of the 20s, well, for everybody but blue. I'm keeping the blue down, but all the other colors I've bumped up so that they're 30% or higher. I think my bright white is on top, which is at 35%. So, yeah. Above 30%, because my thought, if this light can grow highlight plants, but go all the way down, from 0 to 1 is going to be low light or poor light. I think the websites will probably call it low light, but I would call it poor light. So from 0 to 30 would be your poor light. From 30 to 60 would be your moderate light. And then from, 60 up to 100 would be your high light. Now, I'm sure there's stronger lights out there than the 3.0, so that would fluctuate. But I bumped this one up, so everybody, with the exception of the blue light, is at least at 30%. I'm hoping that will, keep everybody going, including the Scarlet Temple, because that was a 5% boost to get everybody into medium. From here on out, I'm going to do it in 1% increments. It might be, that's another thing I gotta do is feed the tanks today. Might be every time I feed the tanks, bump the light up. So I haven't quite decided. For this tank, I'm going to probably order some ferts. Haven't decided what ones yet. If I stick with Modern Aquarium, it looks like my selection's going to be quite limited. So, I don't know, I might go to another website. Or I might just go with what Modern Aquarium has. Because they have both a non-CO2 and a CO2 fert. Maybe I'll get one of each. use the non-CO2 fertilizers up, and then maybe by then I'll be ready for the other. I don't know. The other thing I don't know is I want to deal in higher light plants. I've had success with the low light plants. I can do those. Things like that. I'm doing, even though they're buried too deep, they haven't seemed to really complain yet. Yeah, I can do those. I got those. Got a whole bunch of those in my 10-gallon down there. So I want to deal with higher light plants now. So if the 3.0 is not up to it, I figure I've got 3 options. Let's get down here to some where you can at least look at plants. First option is I can buy a second 302 planted light and have 2 of them on this tank, if the one isn't enough. The second option is I can go with the marine version, which will give me a green light, apparently, from the looks of things. Maybe some purples, some green. Colors that this light may, by consequence, make. You've got, your pink and your blue. That's going to create a purple. You got your warm yellow. I think it's a warm light. Anyway, I don't know if you can see that yellow, but there's some yellow on the tube, or the brace there. It's reflecting the yellow. I can see it. I don't know if you can see it on the film. There's no film in this phone. It's like a warm white, and it's a yellow bulb. Well, you mix yellow with blue, you get green. So the light can do these colors. But maybe I'll get the marine version and just have the other colors to play with. Or, third option, is a different light entirely. This can go on the 55 if I do something like that. But I'm rapidly running out of time. So, with that, I'll let you go. And you can look forward to the unboxing video, I suppose, if you like unboxing videos. Talk to you next time.